and welcome. Whether you are joining us online or here live at Prosperity Palace in Las Vegas, Nevada, you are in for a real treat. You are about to meet the world's leading authority in subconscious reprogramming and irresistible influence. He changed my life and he's about to change yours. His name is Marshall Sylver. He is my husband, and to learn a little bit more about him, tune into this video.
Entertainer, educator, and author, Marshall Sylver has been appearing live on stage for over 45 years. The media calls him the world's leading expert in subconscious reprogramming and irresistible influence. His fans call him the greatest hypnotist of all time. From his humble beginnings as a poor farm boy growing up in a home with no running water, electricity, or phones, he has been a product of his products, transforming his life into that of the rich and famous. He is the most televised hypnotist in history, with multiple appearances on Howard Stern, Montel Williams, and many more. He's the only hypnotist to ever appear on Late Night with David Letterman a record 5 times, even bumping the top 10 list. Letterman said, "For all your hypnotic needs, Marshall Sylver is the man to see." On the Dr. Joey Brown Show, he cured 10 phobias in under an hour. He has created and stars in the world's largest hypnotic production show, Real Hypnosis, Really Funny, and has appeared on the main stage of Caesars, Planet Hollywood, Paris, the Palms, the Stratosphere Hotels in Las Vegas, and many more. His books are published by Simon & Schuster and have been published in multiple languages. His life-changing audio and video programs have changed millions of lives around the globe. His top-rated infomercial, Passion, Profit, and Power, did over $100 million in sales the very first year. As an educator, Marshall has shared the stage with Donald Trump, Susie Orman, Presidents Clinton, Ford, and Bush. Zig Ziglar said that Marshall was one of the most dynamic speakers he had ever shared the stage with. His live events on becoming financially independent, creating passionate, lasting relationships, and changing your life have broken attendance records worldwide. In Taiwan, he simultaneously hypnotized over 5,000 people through an interpreter. He is the go-to authority on all things regarding hypnosis or persuasion and influence. His 3 babies, Sterling, Maximus, and Prosperity, were all born at home via hypnosis with no pain, no drugs, and no doctors. Prosperity's birth was live streamed with thousands of viewers watching. Whether he's flying around on private jets to change people's lives, or lounging at his 17,000 square foot home in Las Vegas, or his waterfront home in Southern California, Marshall Sylver is an example of what he teaches.
You at home and you in here, please stand up and welcome my husband, Marshall Sylver.
Wow! Welcome, glad you're here. Hey, baby. So glad you're here. Wow, thank you guys. Welcome, 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 welcome. Good to see you. Glad you're here. How about a big hug? You mix it up. Welcome, glad you're here. Wow, everybody, welcome. Have a seat. Hey, you at home and you in here are about to have your life changed forever. Another big round of applause for my beautiful bride, Erica. Any of you wondering whether hypnosis is real or not, well, that should be the answer right there. So glad to have you here. For the next 75 minutes, it is my intention to help you at home and you in here change your life forever. If you're at home, make sure you're watching this either on a laptop or on your desktop. And also make sure you have a pad of paper and a pen for writing notes here. Take plenty of notes in here because my intention is not only to entertain you, it's also to empower you and educate you. A couple things you should also know. I'm going to be giving away stacks of cash right here at my home, Prosperity Palace. I tend to give the cash away to the most enthusiastic people in the room, so that's a good start. I also have not forgotten about you at home. If you're watching this from home, make sure you stay active in the chat. If I ask you to put something into the chat roll, type it in. Within 7 days of this webinar, I'm going to select one person totally at random, and I'm going to send them $1,000 cash. Don't believe me? I've already given away over $350,000 in cash to viewers just like you watching my online programs. Here's just a few examples. So make sure you stay chatty in the chat line. Who here wants more money? Say, oh yeah. And you at home type, oh yeah. Are they typing?
Yes, they are.
Somebody wants money. Who here would love to lose a pound or two? Put your hand up, say, oh yeah. Or if you're having a hard time getting that heavy sucker up, have the person beside you help you lift it in the air. Who here would love to become a non-smoker? Put your hand up, say, oh yeah. Or type, oh yeah. Hey, who here would love to create more passion in their personal, intimate relationship? Put your hand up, say, oh yeah. Type, oh yeah. By the way, if you came here with somebody, they put their hand up and you did not, you should be paying attention. Who here is single and would love to create an awesome, passionate relationship? Put your hand up, say, oh yeah. Type it into the chat roll. Maybe you'll find the love of your life there. So by all means, type it there. Who thinks during this webinar, I may try to sell you something? I will not let you down. Actually, I'm not going to try to sell you anything. I'm going to sell you something. It's good for me. It's good for you. It's good for the entire population. Everybody wins. Now, I do not sell books and tapes. I give those away for free. I also, as I've already mentioned, have a ton of cash to give away for free. Who wants free stuff? Oh, yeah. And type in, oh, yeah. If you did not put your hand up and you win, if you did not type, oh, yeah, at home and you win, I promise you, I will not give it to you. No, I mean it. If this is too much energy or this is too much energy for you to put out on your own behalf, your life's already guaranteed to suck. It is guaranteed to suck. I want to give you as much as I possibly can. If you want to get as much as you possibly can, here's what I want you to do. Take a clean sheet of paper, and across the top of that piece of paper in big, bold block letters, write these words, take action now. When? Now. Tomorrow never comes. How many of you here at Prosperity Palace or you at home, how many of you are older than you thought you would be at this point in your life? How many of you understand what I'm talking about? How many of you thought you'd have more money? You'd have better relationships? You'd be happier in general? Say, oh yeah. Awesome. Part of the challenge for people is, how many of you are willing to work hard? How many of you at home are willing to work hard? If you are, type in, I'm willing to work hard. The thing that I know is that hard work won't get you what you want. And the reason is that you're screwed up. And I wish that was a joke, and I wish it wasn't true. And some of you here at Prosperity Palace are looking at me blankly like, that was rude. Except how many of you realize you have programs in your brain that you don't want to have? Who realizes that? Put your hand up. And if you're watching at home, type in, I do. How many of you realize you have programs in your brain, you don't even know what they are, and yet they form your days? What if you took a child from the time it was born until it was 8 years old, and you said to that child, you dirty, rotten, good for nothing. You'll never amount to anything. You're a mistake. We wish you never had you. You're going to be a drug addict. You're going to be a criminal. You're going to end up dead or in prison. Nobody's life is better because you're here. We wish you had never been born. Can you feel it? We were joking a moment ago. We were having a motivational webinar. And in those 10 seconds, all the energy got sucked out of the room. There's no kid there. That wasn't 8 years. That was 10 seconds. How many of you here believe if you spoke to a child from the time it was born until it was 8 years old that way, and then that abusive authority figure was taken out of the picture, it's too late? Who realizes that? I know there are people here at Prosperity Palace, in my audience here, and I know there are people watching this at home who had that growing up, who had worse than that growing up. I know, because I'm one of them. You see, my father was a mean old man. When I'd call my father on the phone after he and my mom divorced, the first words out of his mouth were, you little SOB, why are you calling me? The last words out of his mouth, you little MFer, don't ever call me again. And he didn't use the acronyms. It took me a long time. It took me hypnosis, actually, and a specific phrase that changed my life forever. You see, I came to realize that none of that was about me. That was about him. And the phrase that I heard one day and then hypnotized myself to know for sure was that hurt people hurt people. All that abuse that I got from my dad was all about his pain, probably from the divorce, probably from a failed life. He died at 68 years old, a very angry alcoholic. And I'm absolutely positive it was the anger that killed him. Better question. What if you took that exact same child from the time they were born until they were 8 years old, and you said to that child, you are a gift from God. As you grow up, you'll do great things. You'll change many people's lives. Everything you touch will turn to. Sylver. And Sterling, my son. Of all of the things in my life that I am proud of, the things I am most proud of are you, your brother Maximus, and your little sister Prosperity. Who thinks those children grow up dramatically differently? Oh, yeah. If you're watching this at home, type in, oh yeah. They do. You know, we're here at Prosperity Palace, my home, and I'm giddy to be here. All three of my babies were born upstairs in the master suite bath. No drugs, no doctors, no pain. A lot of people would say that they were also conceived via hypnosis, and I won't argue with that. The thing is, when Erica got pregnant with Sterling and she went to her doctor, as you can see, my wife's very petite. The doctor said, you're going to have a cesarean. I asked the doctor, I said, she's 3 months pregnant. How could you know that? Oh, she's too small. Who here realizes doctors get paid a whole lot more money if they can cut a woman open? How many of you realize that a doctor can keep their tea time and golf with their buddies if they cut them open? Who here realizes that's criminal? It's criminal. Now, everybody makes their own choice. I'm just glad that I was able to hypnotize Erica so that we could have the babies naturally here at Prosperity Palace. I also want you to realize that so many parts of your life are programmed in that way. How many of you realize you have programs about money? You know, I mentioned it a little while ago that all of you were willing to work hard. One of the things that I know is that my father programmed me badly. My mother, who loved me very much, and that was who my mother was, my mother said, Marshall, you're going to do great things in your life. You're going to be rich, you're going to be famous, and then you're going to take care of me. Of all of the things in my life that I'm proud of, I'm definitely proud of my family. The other thing I'm most proud of is that I was there the day my mother received her Social Security check, her very first one. I was there the day she opened that envelope up. I was there the day she pulled that check out and started crying, realizing that she was going to have to work for a lifetime. On that day, I made an absolute dedication to my mother. I said, Mom, don't ever cry another tear about money again. I will take care of you for the rest of your life. And for the next 20 years until she passed in 2013, I took care of my mother, gave her more money every single month than she ever made working. How many of you would love to be able to take care of the people that you love financially in every other way so they don't have that heartache? Put your hands up, say, oh yeah. At home, you type in, I would. You see, I believe that making money is a gift. And when you learn how to make money, you are obligated to make as much as you possibly can. In fact, I'm positive that if you don't use those skills, they go away. How many of you are primarily here, would like to focus right now on making more money in your life? Put your hand up, say, oh yeah. You at home and you in here, here's what I want you to do. Write down a single word. The word is velocity. Velocity. As it pertains to making money, velocity means the speed at which money changes hands. Let's imagine that I am here at Prosperity Palace. My family is over at the beach house. And I'm here at Prosperity Palace, and I'm thinking to myself, I really want to go see my family. It's late at night, and so I jump in the car, and I start to drive. And as I'm driving along, it's Electric Daisy Carnival weekend. And I don't realize it, but some 120,000 people are driving back to Southern California. And as they're driving back to Southern California, they are back-to-back, bumper to bumper. About 4.5 hours into the trip, I realized that I'm going to be driving for another hour and a half. I either need to get some coffee or I need to get some rest in a motel. There's this little flea-bite town about 3/4 of the way between here and Southern California. There is a motel there. In fact, the letter M is missing, so it's actually just an hotel. There's an hotel there. There is a gas station there. There is a grocery store there, and there is also a bar there. So I pull up to the hotel and I walk in. I notice there's no cars in the parking lot, so it's got to be empty. I walk into the place, and behind the counter, the owner is standing, and I say, how much to spend the night at your hotel? He says, it's $100. I look around and I say, $100? He says, we're the only game in town. And he sounds remarkably like Jack Nicholson, which has me a little bit worried. So at any rate, I say to him, okay, would you be willing to let me check the room out first? How about I take $100, I put it on the counter, and then I go check the room out? He says, absolutely, go check out the room. So I go to check out the room, and before I am out of eye shot, he grabs that $100, he runs across the street to the bar, and he hands it to the owner. He says, here, Mac, this should take care of my bar tab. Mac takes my $100, and he hands it to the guy drinking across the bar. He says, here's for the groceries I bought at your grocery store, Billy. Billy takes the money, hands the money to Rod, who's his drinking buddy. He says, Rod, this should take care of the repairs on my car. Rod takes the money, winks at the girl at the end of the bar, and says, you know what this is for. She takes the money, runs across the street, back to the hotel, puts the money on the counter and says, honey, that $100 I borrowed from you, I'm paying you back. Were all of those debts paid in full? They were. All of those debts were paid 100% in full by the velocity of that $100 changing hands 5 times. I'm going to talk a little bit later about a program that we teach called Turning Point. I've been teaching it for 33 years. It's changed hundreds of thousands of lives worldwide. One of the things that I teach there is at Turning Point, 3/4 of the program is devoted to making money. I want you to take a note at home, and you in here, write this down. Money cures most things. Money cures most things. I was born and raised on a farm in Michigan, as you saw from my intro reel. We had no running water, we had no electricity, we had no phone. We often had little, sometimes no food. Twice, my 9 brothers and sisters and I, we were homeless. We were living out of a station wagon in the middle of a cold Michigan winter when the local community came together and renovated a chicken coop. And we lived in the chicken coop for 4 years. It had running water, it had electricity, no adverse side effects. Don't cry for me though, Argentina. Based on what I'm about to teach you, based on this hypnosis, this subconscious reprogramming, as you can already tell, my life is very, very different. Right now, we are here at Prosperity Palace, 17,000 square feet of luxury living. Oftentimes, people walk into the foyer where you're seated right now and they say, I think I may have stayed at this hotel before. Master Suite is 3,000 square feet. Often I watch MTV Cribs and I feel very bad for those guys. It gets hot here in Vegas, and when it gets hot here in Vegas, we head out to the beach house like I was talking about. Down in Southern California, a little town called Carlsbad. How many of you believe you could work a little bit harder if this was the view out your back window every single evening? You know, hypnosis is used in a lot of different ways. I made a movie a couple of years back that with what we're about to launch, we're about to release the movie. The movie's called Tranced. It's a movie that while you watch it, it actually hypnotizes you to experience what the lead character on the screen is experiencing. So when she feels hot, you feel hot. When she feels cold, you cuddle up against your date. When she has an orgasm, you have an orgasm. We think people are going to come repeatedly. We do. We think that initially, people are afraid of hypnosis. And then when they see the power of it, they say, how can I use this in my life? When I was making the movie, I was thinking about the character. I wrote the film. I executive produced the film at $2 million. I starred in the film. The film was about a young unwed mother and her search for meaning in her life. The hero is a philanthropist billionaire. When I was creating the character of Sterling Wins, the philanthropist billionaire, I thought, what kind of a home would he live in? And I found a 25,000 square foot palace built in the Hollywood Hills for the Sultan of Brunei. And when I found that home, I said, yes, this is where he would live. Then I thought, what kind of a car would he drive or be driven in? Now, I consult for many millionaires and even a couple of billionaires. And one of the things that I've noticed is that highly successful people are a little bit, maybe completely control freaks. They want to control everything. And so my experience has been even my billionaire clients tend to drive themselves. So when I was thinking about Sterling Wins, I thought, what kind of a car would he drive or be driven in? The moment I saw the car, I said, yes, that's it, the brand new Rolls-Royce Phantom. Now, I myself would never drive a car like that because I have a belief that any man that needs a $400,000 automobile to get from point A to point B, he's making up for a shortcoming elsewhere, so I would never do that. In order to make the film, though, I had to rent the car for 10 days. And so I rent the car for 10 days, and on the first day I'm driving the car, I'm thinking to myself, what a boat. The second day I'm driving the car, it starts to feel a little bit better. The third day I'm driving the car, I pull up to a stoplight, and beside me pulls up a car filled with very beautiful women. I notice that they're attempting to get my attention, kind of beeping on the horn and rolling down the window, and I'm sitting at the stoplight thinking to myself, yeah, I bet they think the car looks pretty good too. I bet they do. The woman in the back seat's got the window all the way down. She's motioning for me. I rolled the window down. I said, good evening, can I help you? She said, excuse me, but do you have any Grey Poupon? If you're laughing, you're at least 40 years old. You are. I went out the very next day, bought a brand new Rolls-Royce Phantom. How many of you still think nobody needs a $400,000 automobile to get from point A to point B? Then you've never ridden in one. You haven't. You have not. Here's what I want you to write down. I want you to write this down. What is the highest and best use of my time? What is the highest and best use of my time? Abraham Lincoln said, if you have an hour to chop down a tree, spend 40 minutes sharpening that axe. Now, you can chop down a tree with a dull axe. You can whack at that tree, and sooner or later, that tree will fall. The challenge is you'll use up your whole hour, and by the time you're done, your hands will be blistered and bloodied. Who here thinks that that sounds like a job? On the other hand, if you step back and you sharpen that axe for 40 minutes, it'll look like all the whackers are getting ahead. Yet on minute 41, you step up to that tree and you give it one swing, whoosh. One fell swoop, that tree falls. Next tree, whoosh. One fell swoop, that tree falls. Tree after tree after tree. 20 minutes later, your hands are fine. 20 trees down, you're ahead. You are that axe. I am the grinding wheel. I came here to make your life easier. I came here to help program your brain with the thoughts of a multimillionaire so that you could produce a similar result in your own life. Remember that example I was talking about of how my father programmed me? My mother programmed me to be wealthy, to be famous, to take care of her. And yet my mother, in her loving spirit, actually damaged me worse than my father ever could have. And the reason is simple. I defended against what my father was saying. I knew on a level, even at 7 years old, that just wasn't true. I believed everything my mother told me. And my mother programmed me with this program. She said, Marshall, work hard, get ahead. Who here realizes if you work hard, what you get is more hard work? Who here realizes if you complete a full day's worth of labor in a half a day, your boss is going to give you another full day's worth of labor? Write this down. This is key to your success. This is key to you getting everything that you want. Those that think govern those that labor. Those that think govern those that labor. I asked you a question a moment ago. The question was, rather a statement, what is the highest and best use of my time? In the United States, there are 500 commercial airports. 500 airports that you can go to and fly wherever you want to, pretty much anywhere in the world. My home in Carlsbad is about halfway between San Diego Airport and John Wayne up in Orange County. And to allow for traffic, I have to allow for at least 90 minutes to get to the airport just to be careful. If I get to the airport 90 minutes early, I often travel and am gone days at a time, so I have to park in long-term parking, which means I've got to park the car, I've got to jump on the shuttle, go to the airport another 30 minutes. I'm at 2 hours. When I get to the airport, I have to allow for time to get through TSA. If I have one of these in my hand, they're going to take it away from me because this might be a bomb. And they'll give me the option of either drinking it or throwing it in a bin with a bunch of other bottles. And I'm thinking to myself, so you don't want me carrying a bomb, but you're okay if I am the bomb, which, by the way, I am. But if they take it from me, they throw it in a bin with a bunch of other bottles just like it. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not an expert on explosives, but if all of those might be bombs, you don't want to store them that close together. You don't. You get on the airplane, and there's just rude, smelly people and loud yuck. You land, and you've got to go to the baggage carousel, and they've got to take every single bag off the plane before they put a single bag on there. You got another 30 minutes at least. You've got 4 hours one way. You've got 8 hours round trip. How many of you think it's enough to make a man want to shave his head? In the United States, there are 5,000 private airports. 5,000 airports where you can go fly private jets. I bought my home in Carlsbad for 2 reasons. My mother at the time was living in Oceanside, the city right next door, and I wanted to spend more time with her. The other reason I bought it is the house is 11 minutes from an airport called Palomar Airport. When I want to go from Vegas to there or there to here or there to anywhere, all I do is I get in my car and I drive to the airport. I don't park my car at all. I pull my car right up to the jet. The grounds people park my car for me. I don't touch my bags. The grounds people and the pilots load my bags onto the plane. Within 15 minutes of leaving my front door, I am on the plane and airborne, depending on time of day, favorite beverage in hand. I've never missed a flight because they always wait for me. There's not a single person on that flight that I didn't invite because it's my private jet. This is the look of a man who's flown commercially about a dozen times over the last dozen years. This is the look of a man whose tray table was down on takeoff and freaking landing. How many of you think you could get used to that? Oh, yeah. And if you are watching at home, type into the chat roll, I could get used to that. Are they being active, Erica?
Yes, they are.
Lovely, that's what I want to do. You see, part of the thing that has to happen for you and you here is you've got to turn up the wanting. How many of you believe that you might have settled a little bit in your life? Put your hand up, say, oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Maybe settled on relationships that weren't everything you wanted them to be. Say, oh yeah. Maybe settled on less than what you wanted financially because you just wanted to make the pain go away. Put your hand up, say, oh yeah. I want to take you away from all of that. I want to help you get everything you want in every area of your life. I didn't tell you about Prosperity Palace and my beach house to impress you with me. I didn't tell you about the Rolls Royce to impress you with me or the private jet travel to impress you with me. It should be pretty clear if you're watching this webinar or you're in my home right now that I am very impressed with myself already. It should be very clear to you. Here's the reason I tell you about this. You see, we are in an interesting time. We're in a time that all you need to do to be a guru is place an ad on Facebook. You don't have to prove it up. So how many of you want to be sure that the people that teach you are the real deal? How many of you want to be sure that the people that teach you can teach you, that they know how to get to where you want to go? So I want to give you some criteria. I told you about my homes, I told you about my car, I told you about private jet travel, so that you would recognize something. I am an ordinary man. I am not smarter than any of you here or any of you watching at home. In fact, I'm a high school dropout. I dropped out of high school because my mother was working 3 jobs, killing herself, and I knew that I needed to contribute or my mother would die. I'm not harder working. How many of you can tell I'm having a good time? In fact, since I became a hypnotist, I haven't worked a day in my life. I haven't done anything on any given day that I didn't want to do. It's a blessing. How many of you realize that I'm not more creative than you? I'm not. I'm not better. Let's not go that far. I'm not smarter than you. And I'm definitely not more humble. You know, I talked a moment ago about programs that aren't real, that are in your brain, that actually work against you. Like that one, work hard, get ahead. There's another one that your parents probably programmed into your brain. And by the way, the majority of your programming is done by the time you are 7 or 8 years old. You will be that person the rest of your life until somebody comes along and specifically reprograms your brain. Another one of those programs that you thought worked that doesn't work is don't try to pretend you're better than the other kids. Who here realizes Tiger Woods' father never said that to him once? Not once. Don't try to pretend you're better than they are. Don't show off. Who here realizes too many people make themselves less so that other people feel better about themselves? You don't have to write this down. I just want you to ponder this thought. It was a glorious day for fools when modesty became a virtue. I showed you this because I'm an ordinary man. And if this guy, as a high school dropout, can create this kind of a life, then you can too. So I want to give you a criteria for selecting a mentor. The things you should be looking for, even now, as you're watching this webinar. Number 1, find somebody who can prove their lifestyle. Find somebody who can show you what they've done, not just talk about what they've done. Who here believes I may know a thing or two about making money? Who believes I may know a thing or two about living a big life? I do. Second criteria. Criteria number 2 is find someone who started off worse than where you are right now. That's really important, and here's the reason. You know, I have billionaire friends that I have nothing to learn from. My father didn't give me millions of dollars to get my life started. Who here believes if your father had given you millions of dollars to get your career started, you'd be substantially better off than where you are right now? I started broke, I started poor, I wasn't given anything. I showed you pictures of my house, I told you about the chicken coop. I know that anybody applying the principles that you're about to learn both here and in the lifetime relationship we're about to experience, I know you can change your life forever. I want you to also recognize part of your challenge is identifying that programming, getting rid of the programs that don't work and replacing them with ones that do. You've been here for a while. Who here is very glad to be here at Prosperity Palace? Put your hand up, say, oh yeah. How many of you on the webinar are really glad to be here? Just type into the chat roll, oh yeah. If you're glad to be here, I've got a question for you. Here's the question. Who here would like to eat fire? Some of my students, yeah. 18 inches of mouth-searing, teeth-melting, permanently scarring flame. Here we go, watch. I'm so glad you guys are clapping. Because the people at home that are watching this are just going, huh? Why in the world would a man who's going to show me how to make this my first million or best millions year begin his presentation by eating fire? Well, I'm absolutely positive the single emotion that stopped all the people in here that didn't volunteer and the single emotion that stopped every single person at home that wouldn't have volunteered is the same emotion that stops you from getting anything you want in every area of your life. What emotion would that be? Fear. Type it into the chat roll. It's fear. Fear shows up in a lot of interesting ways. Sometimes fear looks like procrastination. You know, I'll go apply myself when I feel better. I'll go get into that business when the economy is in a better place. Sometimes fear looks being complacent. I'm making $80,000 a year. I should learn to be happy. Ooh. Sometimes fear looks like being catatonic. You know what you need to do, and yet you just can't get yourself to take consistent action. Who here sincerely wants to lose a pound or two? Put your hand in the air, say, oh yeah. Get those fat little arms up, get them up there, drop them down. I can joke about it. You see, when Erica got pregnant with Sterling, I got pregnant with twins. Erica gave birth, I did not. Erica got pregnant with Max, I got pregnant with triplets. She gave birth, I did not. Erica got pregnant with our daughter, and I stayed pregnant the whole time. After my daughter was born, I realized that I needed to take charge of myself. I stepped on a scale one day, and I looked down, and I said, who is that fat guy in my underwear? I'm glad that pleases you so much. I'm glad the skinny girl in the front row is laughing. That's funny. I'll eat fire a little closer to you next time. How many of you realize nobody gets on the scale one day and says, oh my gosh, I've gained a half a pound? You get on the scale and you say, oh my gosh, what happened here? Put them way high. How many of you realize nobody goes broke overnight? What happens all of a sudden, you look at your life and you go, I'm broke, or I'm certainly not where I want to be. How many of you realize nobody gets into a bad relationship overnight? Over time, it turns toxic. Put them way high, say, oh yeah. Oh, yeah. There's three things that you need to get anything you want in any area of your life. Whether it's losing weight, whether it's creating awesome relationships, whether it is creating outrageous wealth, three things you need to get anything you want. The first thing is something called self-mastery. Self-mastery is the ability to be in total control of your thoughts and emotions. I mentioned a moment ago, we've got a program called Turning Point. It is a 3-day program that we teach live. I've been teaching it for 33 years. We also teach it online so that you can take it anywhere in the world at your leisure. And Turning Point does a number of things. One of the first things Turning Point does is it turns up your wantingness. It makes you want a bigger life. Who realizes that's the thing that's going to motivate you to do the things that might cause you fear? It's going to turn up your wantingness. It's going to make you certain that what you want, you can have. You see, that's one of the biggest reasons people don't turn their wantingness up. What if I get myself or allow myself to want all of this stuff and then I can't get what I want? First thing it's going to do is turn up your wantingness. The second thing it's going to do, it's going to help you reprogram your entire mind. It's going to help you take out all of the bad programs working against you and put in all the good stuff that will make your life infinitely easier. How many of you would love to learn how to do that? Subconscious reprogramming, or what I call PND, is the ability to relax your nervous system and program your subconscious mind with the thoughts of a millionaire, with the thoughts of a fit person, with the thoughts of a person in a really great relationship. When you think what someone thinks, you will automatically do what they do and produce a similar result. In fact, let me do a little demonstration here. Front row, go ahead and put everything down. Could I have permission to put you guys in trance real quick? I'm not going to do anything funny, just put you in trance, program your brain with some positive thoughts, bring you back out of trance so you can enjoy the rest of the seminar. Fair enough? Awesome. May I have this hand here? Welcome. You're stuck to the chair. Sleep way down. All the way down. Body stuck to the chair. May I have this hand? Hi. Sleep way down. Hey, Raj. Sleep way down. Hello there. Sleep way down. In this relaxed state, your mind is most responsive to the suggestions given to you. You don't resist anymore. How many of you realize often you know what you need to do, yet you resist? You are indeed beautiful, intelligent, powerful human beings. You are worthy of all the great things this life has to give you. You are worthy of outrageous wealth. You are worthy of respectful, supportive relationships. You are worthy of joy and love every single day. All of these truths make a deep and lasting impression upon your mind, always to remain, to be recalled whenever you say or think the word power. On the count of 3, open your eyes, stretch your arms, smile, say the word power out loud, feeling fantastic in every way. 1, 2, 3, wide awake. Say it. Power. Give them a round of applause. I know watching this at home, or even watching this here live right here at Prosperity Palace, or watching a show, or even on television, it might be hard to believe in what you've just seen. I also want you to know something. Not believing in something doesn't make it not exist. It makes it not exist for you, which means, number 1, you can't use it, and number 2, you can't identify it when it's being used on you. In a little bit, I'm going to bring somebody up to the front of the room from our studio audience, a random person. And I'm going to use what we call full awareness hypnosis. It's going to look like all I'm doing is having a conversation with them. All I'm doing is talking to them. And yet I'm going to sell them something they didn't even know they wanted. And when I'm done, they're going to say thank you and mean it. Next week, next year, next month, they're going to mean it. Who here wants to be that person? Got about half the studio audience. You know, again, part of the challenge is I said I was going to bring somebody up here. And some of you are thinking, oh no, we've seen your show, Hypno Boy. You're not getting me up there. You get me up there, you'll hypnotize me, have me singing like Lady Gaga. Which you'd think you would want to do because it makes Lady Gaga a lot of money. You'd think you would want to do that. Some of you are saying, no, you'll have me up there, you'll have me stripping like a Chippendales dancer. Believe me this, there are some people I never hope to see strip like a Chippendales dancer. Here's the bigger reason, and it's another one of those subconscious triggers that I was talking about a few moments ago. I said I was going to bring somebody up and I was going to sell them something. Self-mastery is total control of your thoughts and emotions. The moment I said those words, the majority of the population immediately falls into a subconscious state that says, oh no, you're not going to sell me anything. Do you remember I talked about velocity, the speed at which money changes hands? Write this down. This could be the biggest pivot you make in your whole life in your ability to make money. Write this down verbatim. Every thought has a physical response, so those that are afraid to buy are always afraid to sell. If you're writing this down at home, type into the chat roll so I know that you're still with me. I'm writing it down. By the way, I told you, the people that are active in the chat, somebody is going to win $1,000. So stay active in the chat. Stay on the entire time. It could be you. If every thought has a physical response and you're afraid to buy, when you go to sell, you will telegraph that fear subconsciously to the people you seek to influence. I buy stuff. I buy watches. I buy custom suits. I buy houses. I buy cars. It's good for me, it's good for you, it's good for the entire economy. Everybody wins. You see, your economy is based upon what you seed, what you plant, because what you plant grows. I'm going to offer up Turning Point in a little bit. The Turning Point retails for $3,000 per person. Although I'm going to give you an amazing opportunity to be able to go to the Turning Point for no money today, no payments for 6 months, no interest for 6 months, to make this the easiest decision you've ever made, to get all the results of Turning Point before you even have to pay a dime. How many of you think that's a great idea? Put your hand up, say, oh yeah. And you at home type in, oh yeah. I know for a fact that at Turning Point, either online or in person, I can get into your brain and I can program you with many thoughts that will change your life forever. Self-mastery is understanding that what you believe to be true is true for you, nothing else. That what you focus on expands, and that reality is created by validation. I could take any person in this room, any one of you, and within 1 year, by doing exactly what I tell you to do, make you a millionaire. Who wants to be that one person? If your hand isn't up, and it looks like just about every hand is up, why not you? If you're at home and you want me to pick you, put your hand up, say, pick me, pick me, pick me. And also type into the chat roll because I can't see you. Type into the chat roll, pick me. I know that the challenge for most people is their brain is wired in such a way they can't even do the things they know they need to do. Who wants to lose a pound or two? Put your hands up. I'm taking the fat off. I'm 35 pounds down of the 63 pounds of fat I gained. And I want you to write down the thank you very much. The same girl that laughed at me for being fat, now clapping for me. Yay. Write this down. This is the formula that I'm using. Write it down. Eat less, move more. It's the formula. Who here wants to become a non-smoker? Put your hand high. If you want to become a non-smoker. You had your hands up before? I saw that. Yeah. Write this formula down. Quit putting that thing in your mouth and lighting it. Who realizes that's how we become non-smokers? That is how we. How many of you have ever been smokers and you stopped and that's how you did it? Maybe you had some mechanism. Maybe you went and saw a hypnotist or had a patch, but that's what you did. You just put it down. Here's the thing about a smoker. Nobody was born a smoker. One day, somebody forced a cigarette into their mouth. They probably got sick, and then they did it again and again and again until they got really good at smoking. How many of you here and how many of you at home would like to be so good at making money you couldn't stop yourself if you wanted to? Nobody is born a smoker. You've got to force yourself to be a smoker. Nobody is born a pauper. You've got to choose to be a pauper every single day to maintain that state. I want you to understand that your first million is always the most difficult one to make. So here's my recommendation to you. Skip the first one. And here's how you skip it. You here, and you at home, say it out loud. I am a millionaire. I am a millionaire. It starts with those words, even if the money has not yet been deposited in your bank account. You see, on the day that I was born into that house with no running water, and the day I was looking for Kraft macaroni and cheese money in the couch, and today as I talk to you from my 17,000 square foot palace, I'm the same guy. So I guess back then I was a multimillionaire whose money had not yet been deposited in my bank account. Who here realizes that millionaires and billionaires, we think differently than paupers? I want you to write this down. Millionaires and billionaires never ask, how much does it cost? All we ask is, how much can it make me? If a $3,000 investment today could come back over the course of 20 years as over $200 million guaranteed, how many of you in this room would find a way to come up with $3,000? If you were loaned the $3,000 for 6 months, 0 interest, no payments, 6 months, how many of you would take me up on that offer today? If your hand is not up, I get it, it's fear. Maybe it's not real, maybe it won't work out, maybe there's a catch, maybe there's no catch. How many of you have ever, at some other time, invested in other seminars or other trainings or other programs, and you know you didn't follow through completely, put them way high? How many of you realize that there were other people that had invested in those exact same programs that produced massive results so that you knew it was possible? Put them way high, say, oh yeah. And into the chat roll, type in, oh yeah. You see, part of the challenge is I know what it feels like to sit where you're seated. I know what it is to pray that the guy that's in front of you right now is being sincere and not at some other time somebody just attempting to separate you from your money. I was 23 years old when I sat in a seminar much like this webinar we're doing right now. I sat front row center because that's where I always sat, because that's where you're going to get the most. At the end of the presentation, the person offering up the program said, we've got a seminar coming up. It sells for $5,000. My heart sank. I'd been praying for a word from God, and the word was no. I didn't have $5,000. I was saving every dime I had for dependable transportation. I was about to be kicked out of my apartment for non-payment of the rent, and I was the manager of the apartment complex. So the speaker said something, though. He said, it's $5,000, yet those of you that get up, run over there to where Erica is, and sign up right now, I'll reduce the investment from $5,000 down to $3,000. Well, when he said that, I was the first person out of my chair. I leapt to my feet, I raced over to the table, I filled out the order form, and I signed up for that seminar. You see, I had $3,000 to my name. It was every dime I had that I was saving for dependable transportation. I signed up for the seminar, and as they say, the rest is history. That $3,000 investment I made as a 23-year-old boy has come back as over $200 million to me. How many of you think I am really glad that 33 years ago I invested $3,000 for myself? Put your hands way high. Oh, yeah. How many of you now know you would do the same? Put them up and type in I would into that chat roll. See, part of the challenge for you is what you believe to be true is true for you. What you focus on expands. Yes, you are the average of the 5 people you're hanging out with, and a lot of them are very negative. In fact, some of them you told you were going to be on that webinar, and they said, you're going on another webinar? You're going to another seminar? Don't let them try to sell you anything. As if you buying something would be bad for you or bad for them or bad for the world. The challenge is they don't get it, and they never will. And here's the bigger challenge. You're probably related to them. How many of you can relate to that? Could be a family member, could be your spouse or significant other constantly pulling you down. I want you to understand something. Relationships are like scales in that they balance each other out. When one side starts to grow, the other side has an option of either growing too, or more times than not, reaching up and pulling down just to correct the balance of the relationship. How many of you can relate to what I'm talking about? How many of you have been in a circumstance like that? Doesn't even have to be a romantic relationship. Could be a family relationship. Could be anything. I don't want you to be pulled down anymore. If you're still with me right now, you're watching this webinar for a reason. You want more in your life. You know it's certain. You know it's your birthright. You just don't know how to get it. If you don't have what you want in every single area of your life, it's for one of 2 reasons. Either you don't know what to do. When you attend Turning Point, either online or you come be with me for a lifetime of turning points in the real world, live and in person, I guarantee you, number 1, it's going to turn up your wantingness. Number 2, it's going to show you how to reprogram your brain, and I'll assist you with that in every single area of your life. It's going to give you the tools, the strategies, the things you need to create what you want in every single area. Your relationships, your wealth, your emotional, mental, physical, and even spiritual well-being. We're about halfway through the webinar right now. Little pop quiz. I know some of you have heard me speak before. How many of you in this room are glad you showed up today? How many of you realize not just to have some fun, you needed this message today? How many of you at home realize you needed this today? Type in, yes, I need this now. In fact, better still, type in, I want this badly. Because you know, when you want something bad enough, you get it. My beautiful bride and I have been together for 11 years at this point, and I'd been married twice before I met my one true wife. I really didn't think I'd ever be married again. I knew I wanted love. I knew I wanted someone supportive. I knew I wanted someone that I could have a lifetime with. I just gave up on believing it was possible. Well, I've had bad meals, and I still eat. And I'm so glad that I opened up my heart one more time to my beautiful bride, Erica, because you can have everything you want. Big round of applause for my bride. I love you too. Little pop quiz. Who here believes that people just walk up to you and give you money for no reason whatsoever? Back in the back, your hand went up first. You believe people just walk up to you and give you money for no reason whatsoever? This entire webinar, I've been talking about all the money that I have. This entire webinar, I've been talking about velocity and that you've got to put money out into the marketplace, out into the world, for the world to echo it back. What you put out, you get back. What's your name? Corinne, if you believe people just give you money, I believe it's in both of our best interest for me to give this money to you. What do you believe, Corinne?
I believe you are correct.
You enjoy that. Make her feel good. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. How many of the rest of you believe people just give you money for no reason whatsoever? Some of you are learning. Some of you are going, no, you just gave all of your money to Corinne. You're in my home. It should be obvious I didn't give all of my money to Corinne. I got plenty of money. There we go. I got to tell you, if you won't bend over to pick up the money that's on the floor, the money that's trying to pour into your life will never show up. You pick that up. Hey, I want to remind you, if you're watching this at home, that cash was not just for the people here at Prosperity Palace. I want to remind you that I'm going to be giving $1,000 cash away to somebody who's in the chat roll who stays with me the entire webinar. I'm going to do it every single week. It could be you. So type into the chat roll, I want money, I want more, and I'll be sure to consider you when I select whoever that random person is. Now, Corinne may have never had somebody walk up to her and give her a bundle of cash like that. I promise you, Corinne and the rest of you, people have been trying for years. I'm trying right now. I want this webinar, I want this very moment to be the moment you look back on and say, everything changed for me. I want you to realize once again, the retail for Turning Point is $3,000. And yes, I am here to influence you. I'm here to inspire you, to entice you, to let this be the beginning of a lifetime relationship because I know it will change your life forever. I told you it's $3,000. I also told you I'm going to give you a number of ways that you can participate for way less than $3,000. I'm going to give you a better than money back guarantee, and I'm even going to give you the way to be able to attend the Turning Point with no money down, no payments for 6 months, no interest. Sound like a good deal? Here's the thing. The only thing I cannot change is you. What you believe to be true is true for you. I said that 5 times before I asked who believes people just walk up to them and give them money. How many of the rest of you believe that there's money that the universe is attempting to give to you that you're not even seeing? Money that the world wants to place right in your hands that you don't even notice. Money, prosperity, health, and relationships that are already yours. They're your birthright. They're right there. And all you got to do is change the programs of your brain. The reason I'm so confident that I could take any one of you in here and any one of you watching this at home and within a year make you a millionaire is I've done it thousands of times before. To take a look and meet some of the people that I've assisted in becoming millionaires and even multimillionaires, check out this video.
This is Debbie and Hunter Pascal here in Longwood, Florida. We just wanted to recognize our gratitude to you for what you've done for us. Turning Point, huge, huge event in our life. When we met you at Turning Point, we were in the real estate business already, doing stuff. We were in trainings, we were learning from people and doing deals, doing pretty well, so we thought. Our net worth at that time, before we met you, was about $50,000. Not long after we took the Turning Point classes and trainings, did we accumulate over $30 million in holdings of real estate. And our net worth at that time, right shortly after being at Turning Point, was worth over $5 million. So we went from $50,000 to $5 million just in a short period of time after attending Turning Point. and it was just amazing. The things that we learned in Turning Point: relationships, communication, monies, fears, getting over fears, all the things that were blocking us from making massive money was exposed to us at Turning Point. And once we walked through those fears, through the Turning Point process, it just, we would never imagine that we would go from 50 grand to 5 million, controlling $30 million worth of real estate at that time. Thank you, Marshall, for coming into our lives and making it happen for us. I know we had to do a little bit of work to make it happen, but we learned it, the skills, how to, from that Turning Point. Thank you again. We love you, and we hope to see you soon.
Hi everyone, Paul Fink here. I just stepped out of a business meeting to send you a quick message to let you know about a decision that I made that changed my life forever. My wife and I saw Marshall Sylver and signed up for the Turning Point. Not sure what to expect. Matter of fact, I knew it wasn't something that I wanted to do. It was for my wife, and so I figured the two of us could go together. Little did I know how much it was going to change me and what the two of us were going to experience and how much it was going to change our life forever. You see, since that decision, I've created over $20 million in real estate, sold over $20 million in information products, and created over $1 million this year alone in my business. Absolutely, you're deciding whether this is the right decision for you. Stop deciding. Choose to go. Choose to sign up now. I gotta tell you, it'll be the best decision you've ever made. I know it was for us.
Hi, Marshall.
Hey, Marshall.
You know, when I was a kid, I was a piece of crap. That's how I was subconsciously programmed. And anything and everything I've done, that programming never went away. Turning Point made that go away, and it created the possibility for everything else that's in my life today. That's the biggest and the most important thing the Turning Point did for me.
In the Turning Point, we did a 5-year vision, and one of the things I always wanted to do as a child was go to Taekwondo. My mom couldn't afford it. So in my vision, I saw my black belt, and I also saw a book that I had written. And I think the most important thing and the most value I got out of the Turning Point is all the things that I saw came true, and it was effortless.
As a result of the Turning Point, we made $1 million. You got to see this, guys. That is a check for not $1,010,000, not $980,000. It's a check for $1 million exactly, written to our company, Superior Renovated Homes. So, you know, obviously we're supposed to do it, right? Well, we're currently sitting in my home. This is a home sitting on the side of the Rocky Mountains overlooking the majestic city of Colorado Springs. I bought this for cash. And I'm not really here often. In the last 6 months, I have traveled to, let's do this, so 6, not 5. 6 countries, all for pleasure. So about half the time in the last 6 months I've been gone. You know, we moved here to Colorado in 2014. Amy and I wanted to start a business. It was kind of a dream of ours to create a family business from nothing, and that's what we did. Amy's got the P&Ls here for 2015 and 2016. Show them briefly. See, these are real P&Ls. So what do we do in 2015, Amy? What's our gross?
2015, we did $2,240,100.52.
Not bad.
And in 2016, we did $6,091,040.89.
So those are some materialistic results of going to the Turning Point. Of course, Marshall, we recommend you to everyone. You know that. And anytime you come to Colorado, we bring oodles of people, usually to Denver, to see you. And we recommend you all over the country for all our friends, of course, including all the people maybe you're currently with or anybody ever sees this video. But we love and admire you, and we appreciate you as our mentor. And thank you for helping us create our lives as amazing.
Thank you, Marshall.
Appreciate it.
Hi, my name is Daniel. I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. I got introduced to Marshall by actually friends and family. They recommended that I go to a Turning Point when I was at not one of the best places in my life. I was about 45 pounds overweight, and I was kind of just getting by in my job. Well, after going to Turning Point, I actually had lost 45 pounds from the first year, and then also I almost tenfold increased my sales volume per month, increasing my overall wealth and happiness. At the Turning Point, the reprogramming of my mindset is what really got me into the motion of thinking in a more I guess, fluid fashion. It was the fact that I had to stop thinking of myself as that person and think of myself as the other type of person. Whether I was an overweight person, I had to start thinking of myself as a thin person with a little bit of extra weight on me. Doing that, or thinking of myself as like the top, like I am actually the top closer, and I'm just working towards that spot right now. Doing that instantly improved my mindset and how I should always be improving instead of just being stagnant as to what I am. If you guys need some help losing some weight or getting yourself in the right motion or putting yourself in the right mindset to be able to prosper in your life, head to the next Turning Point.
There you go. Awesome. Good stuff, yeah. Good stuff. You know, I could take any one of you, it doesn't matter what you do for a living. If you love what you do, that's the easiest person for me to work with and help become a millionaire. When people come to Turning Point, they come in one of two states. Either they have a business that they want to expand, that they want to grow, or they have no business, they don't know what they want to do, and they want a vehicle. Either way, Turning Point is going to assist you in finding the vehicle that you love and helping it become not your vocation, having it become your vacation. Now, I mentioned there's three things you need to get anything you want in your life. Number one is self-mastery. It's not enough to know that what you believe to be true is true for you. It's not enough to be certain of your success. The second thing you need to get whatever it is that you want is you need the proper tools for the task at hand. There are specific tools for creating awesome relationships. There are specific tools for making money. There are specific tools for changing habits. When you attend Turning Point, like I mentioned, 75% of the program is based upon making money. Money cures most things. Who here realizes you don't have to worry about the government's healthcare plan when you have money? You can type it in the chat roll as well. How many of you realize that money gives you more choices in relationship because you've got more mobility and meet more people? Who realizes that? Say, oh yeah, and type oh yeah into the chat roll. Who here realizes money makes you better looking? Say, oh yeah. Or type it into the chat roll. Trust me on this one. It definitely does. The thing that I want you to realize is that making money isn't difficult, it's different. It's hard for you to make money because nobody's taught you exactly how to make money. Most people fall into it kind of happenstance. If you were to ask me what is the number one skill that I need to make an endless amount of money, as much money as I could ever want, the number one skill that you must learn is irresistible influence. Irresistible influence is not getting somebody else to say yes. Irresistible influence is getting someone else to beg you for what you're selling, and that's not even the part that's going to make you tingle. It's getting them to beg you for what you're selling and have them believe it was their idea. How many of you would love to be so powerful in your communication, other people would beg you for what you were selling and believe it was their idea? When you attend Turning Point, I'm going to teach you the skills of irresistible influence. I'm going to program those skills into your brain so that they become the way that you speak. How many of you would love to be able to influence somebody to buy the products or services that you sell? How many of you would love to be able to influence your kids to behave? It's a lot. Every parent's hand is going up right now. How many of you watching this would love to be able to influence the people in your world to give you more of what you want? Please understand this, and I want you to write it down. Everything that you want that you don't have, you're going to get from other people. In order for you to become wealthy, you must fall in love with other people. You've got to learn to love everybody. You don't have to like everybody all the time. You want to love everybody. Self-mastery is the ability to control your thoughts and emotions. When you attend Turning Point, I will teach you how to reprogram your brain and control all of your thoughts and emotions. The second thing you've got to learn are the proper tools. In making money, the tool is influence. When you attend Turning Point, I'm going to teach you the skills of irresistible influence, how you can sell anyone, anything at any time. The third thing you need to get anything you want in your life, whether it's eating fire, whether it's becoming a millionaire, or the relationships of your dreams, is you need the ability to take certain action right now. When? Now. Because tomorrow never comes. In fact, of those three skills, if you're taking notes at home or you're taking notes here, highlight, circle, do whatever you need to do for number three, because of the three, it is the most important. You can have all the self-mastery in the world. You can have all the tools. If you don't fail forward fast, nothing happens. Now, in a moment, I'm going to be giving a whole bunch of stuff away for free to people here in our studio in the foyer of Prosperity Palace. To you at home, I'm going to be giving you a chance to win free things as well. If you want free things, type into the chat roll, I want free things. Are they typing, Miss Erica?
Yes, they are, Marshall.
Lots of free stuff to give away. In addition, I told you, I promised you, I was going to bring somebody up front, and I was going to demonstrate irresistible influence. I was going to sell them something they didn't even know they wanted, and when I was done, they were going to say thank you. That person will get more than anyone in the room. That person will gain more confidence, more focus, more determination than anyone in this room. I wish I could select you there at home, yet I'll select you when you come to Turning Point. Right now, I'm going to bring one of you in this room up to the front, and I'm going to give you the biggest gift anyone has ever given you. Who wants to be that one person? Put your hand way high. I'm looking for a woman. Story of my life. I'm looking for a woman here. A couple of you have goatees. Your hands are still in the air. I see that. You're not fooling me. And I'm looking for a woman that I've not trained. I'm looking for somebody that this may be the first time I've ever taught you. I've not trained you. You're sitting right up front. Are you the kind of a person that does what it takes to get what you want? And would you like to be more of that kind of a person? Yeah. And are you at a point in your life right now where you know things need to change in a big and awesome way? Yeah. Tell everybody your name. Ashley. Ashley, put your phone down. Stand all the way up, come forward. All this applause is for you. Stand right there. Ashley, often I will get criticized because when I do demonstrations, I'll often give the money or do demonstrations with beautiful women. And to those people that say that, I say, duh. It's my seminar. I'm going to give you an amazing gift. There are three big reasons that I'm here. Big reason number one is I've seen the economy change, and I'm at the bottom of the baby boomers. I have a lot of friends that are 10 years older than me. They're at the top of the baby boomers. And I've seen them realizing they can't survive on their Social Security. So I've come back out of retirement because I want to help those people. There's some of those people in this room. I've come back out of retirement because the second reason I'm here is I wanted something bigger than just a lifestyle to be able to call my legacy. So I've come back to win a Nobel Prize in economics by changing the economy first here in the United States and then worldwide. It's not difficult. We do it by doing exactly what I'm doing with you right now, teaching people to be fully and totally responsible. Who realizes if everybody became responsible all at once, the economy would change overnight. It's kind of like being on the freeway down in Southern California. It's bumper to bumper. If someone got on a megaphone and just said, all right, everybody have faith. On the count of three, floor it. If everybody moved, everybody would win. Here's the third reason I'm here. Recently, I experienced something that I experienced years ago, and it was a major trigger for me. Years ago, I was doing my show here in Las Vegas. I was making about $80,000 a week, working 5 nights a week, which is decent money. How many of you think it's decent money for doing what you love? It's decent money. Won't pay for jet fuel, but it's decent money. I came home one night and I got a message from my little brother. He said, Marshall, there's been a tragedy in the family. Give me a call back. I didn't want to call him back. I've got 9 brothers and sisters. I've got 36 nephews and nieces. I called him back and he said, Lelania's dead. Lelania was my 21-year-old niece, and she died of a heroin overdose. And people have said, couldn't you have helped your niece? I could have. Couldn't you have gotten her over her addiction? I could have. I got myself off my addictions to drugs. I could have. When I found out she was doing drugs, I asked if I could help her. She said, Uncle Marshall, it's just a phase. I'll get over it. I didn't realize heroin's not a phase. It's just not. I paid for her rehab a couple of times, actually. I remember I paid for the rehab one time. Thousands of dollars, checked into the 30-day program on day 1, broke out on day 2, didn't come back, no money back. Lelania called me up a week after that, and she said, Uncle Marshall, I'm very sorry. Would you please pay for another rehab for me? I didn't know what to do. If you keep doing things the same way, you're going to produce the same result. You got to change. So I thought I'd change up my strategy. No, Laney, no. I will not pay for another rehab. I'll help you get off drugs the way I got off drugs. I will help you call every single person that ever sold you drugs and tell them if they ever sell you drugs again, I'm turning them into the police. No, no, Uncle Marshall. A week later, Ashley Lelania died. How many of you believe I wish I'd have paid for one more rehab? 1,000 more. There's no $120,000 watch or $400,000 car or $10 million home that's going to matter in the end. There's one thing that's going to matter in the end. You matter. You matter. All of you matter. People matter. That's what matters. So even though she died, I got angry at God. And I got angry at God and for a while said, I don't believe in you anymore. And then I got a very clear message. And the message was, I don't want you to just be an entertainer in Las Vegas. I gave you great gifts. What I want you to do is go out and do great things. Help people. I know I'm a little odd. Who realizes I'm a little bit different? Yet how many of you realize that this message is needed right now? I'm going to give you one last lesson. I'm going to give one last demonstration. I'm going to give away tons of training programs and then give you an opportunity to let this be the beginning of a lifetime relationship with me. For no money down, no payments now, no interest for 6 months, give you every reason in the world, better than money back guarantee, to let this be your missing piece to millions and your turning point. The last lesson, the fastest way to change any habit, to get anything you want in any area of your life, write this down, is to act as if it's certain. Act as if it's certain. I found my one true bride. Erica is my certain wife. We raise our children certain of things, not just confident, not just hopeful, certain. Who here realizes certainty is the absence of any doubt? How many of you would love to be more certain about your lives, about your relationships, about your wealth? Who wants that badly? Say, I want it badly.
I want it badly.
In fact, type into the chat roll, I want it badly. See, when we act as if something is certain, when we follow through and finish what we've started, it makes it certain. I brought a gift with me just for you. I brought a second fire-eating torch. Now, I'm not going to ask you to eat fire. I'm not going to ask you to eat fire. Come here. I won't ask you. I'm just going to have you act as if you've done it 1,000 times. Now, just hold it in your hand with confidence. How many of you saw the moment that I said I brought a second fire-eating torch? You said, oh no, oh no. Here's the thing about it. What if everything that you wanted was substantially easier than you were making it? What if everything you wanted was really only this much movement on your part, that much of a turning point? Who realizes we never know how easy things can be until we've done them? Who realizes that? Yep, I know. Now I know you have a son.
Yeah.
How old is your son?
3.
3. And I know that as a parent, it is important for us to demonstrate values and confidence and focus and discipline and certainty to them, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, anytime the kids do anything, we have them put their hand in the air and say, I'm a genius. Who realizes it's healthier for kids to believe they're geniuses than to believe that they're dumb? It's better for kids to see confidence than to see fear. I'm not going to ask you to eat fire. I'm going to have you act as if you've done it 1,000 times. Because if you had done it 1,000 times, you wouldn't have said, oh no, and you wouldn't have that look of terror that you have on your face right now. I'm going to pull your hair back. Fair enough? Okay? Just like that. First thing I want you to do, Ashley, is I want you to put your foot down with confidence, and I want you to say, unstoppable. Focus.
Unstoppable.
Imagine the flame is already there.
Okay.
Say yes.
Yes.
We can never get more in our life by saying no. We can hold a position, but we cannot advance. We cannot get what we want until we go to a place we've never gone to. You can never get more by saying no. Millionaires and billionaires, we say yes, and then we figure it out. Put your foot down, say unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Imagine it is already there, say yes.
Yes.
Lick your lips, get them wet. Just get them wet.
Oh God.
Just lick your lips, don't call me God, call me Marshall. Now lick them again real slow.
Oh jeez.
That was for me, that was for me. The next thing I want you to do is I want you to breathe in deeply, hold your breath, go. Hold your breath, hold your breath, hold your breath, hold your breath, exhale. That's it, right there, that's it. That's the secret. You see, when your lungs are filled, it's impossible for you to breathe in smoke or flame. You are 100% safe. In fact, I even paused when I had the torch in my mouth. There's nothing to feel. There's nothing there. When your lungs are filled, you're safe. Do you remember I told you the number one skill you must learn to make money is the skill of irresistible influence? Who realizes if you're in the business of selling things, it's that moment when you're right about to sell that you feel the most fear. Who realizes that? Right when you're about to get what you want. Put your foot down, say unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Imagine it's already there. Say yes.
Yes.
Lick your lips. Breathe in, hold your breath. Tip your head all the way back. Open your mouth, put it all the way in quickly. Close your lips, close your lips. Perfect form, perfect form. Hold it. No, hold your breath. Open your mouth. Bring it out, say power.
Power.
Put your foot down, say unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Imagine it's already there. Say yes.
Yes.
Lick your lips. Breathe in deeply, hold your breath. Open your mouth all the way in quickly. Close your lips. Perfect form, perfect form. Open your mouth. Bring it out, say power.
Power.
Put your foot down, say unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
Imagine it's already there. Say yes.
Yes.
Lick your lips. Breathe in, hold your breath. Quickly, close your lips. Perfect form. That's perfect form. Open your mouth, bring it out and say power.
Power.
Ashley, what do you suppose is the reason I have you say the word power every time you eat fire? It's a mind trigger.
Okay.
It's hypnosis. It's like any other trigger that we have. Next week, next month, next year, I know you're at a pivotal point in your life. Some things are changing in a big way. And sometimes that causes fear. Next week, next month, 6 months from now, a year from now, awesome, amazing opportunities are going to come up for you. They're going to cause fear too, though, because big things, amazing things like finding the love of your life, that can be scary. Putting every dime you have into a business, that can be scary. Except what's going to happen is you're going to use that mind trigger, Ashley. You're going to say the word power. Your brain's going to say, I eat fire. I'm doing this for my boy. I'm doing this for my life. I am unafraid. Follow through. Ashley, are you the kind of a person that does what it takes to get what you want? And would you like to be more of that kind of a person?
Yes.
You do realize there's a big distinction between being a fire stick holder and commanding me to light it up now and being a fire eater. You have the opportunity for this time to be more than just an interesting seminar, to have it be a major turning point for you. I won't ask you to eat fire. I will promise you, of the hundreds of thousands of people, including many people in this room, that have commanded me to light it up now, all of them have done it safely, and all of them have thanked me afterwards. What would you like to command me to do?
Light it up now.
That's what you want.
Oh.
Ashley, you are going to get a standing ovation from the best looking, smartest people in this room. All the dumb, ugly people will just sit there. There we go. Put your foot down and say unstoppable.
Unstoppable.
You are 100% safe. Imagine it's there. Say yes.
Yes.
Lick your lips.
Oh, God.
Breathe in deeply. Hold your breath. All the way in. Close your mouth. Close your mouth. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Open your mouth. Bring it out. Say power. Yeah. 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 Oh, yeah. Oh. You are 100% safe, aren't you?
Yes.
Ashley, when you woke up this morning, did you say, today I'm going to eat fire?
No.
I didn't think so. That was pretty scary for you, wasn't it?
Yes.
You were terrified.
Yes.
There was no way in the world you were going to do that.
No.
Yet you commanded me to light it up now.
Yes.
Big question. Was it easier than you were making it in your brain?
Yes.
It was almost anticlimactic, wasn't it? It was so simple. How many of you believe you might be making things harder than they need to be? How many of you at home believe you may be making things harder than they need to be? It's not difficult to be a multimillionaire. It's different. It's not difficult to have amazing relationships. It's different. I want all of you to realize that what you believe to be true is true for you. What you focus on expands. Ashley, I want you to believe all these people are going to give you a huge round of applause because they saw the fear on your face too and believe they're going to start right now. Do you like hugs? Me too. Awesome job. Great job. You're very welcome. Yes. Awesome. Who's had an amazing time? I've got some things to give away totally free. Before I give it away, when I came out of retirement, I've been retired for about 7 years. When my son Sterling was born in the bathtub, I caught him in my hands in the bathtub. I looked into his eyes and I said, I'm retired. I just want to spend all of my time with my wife and my beautiful boy. And then Maximus was born and I caught him in my hands and I said, all I want to do is spend all of my time with my 2 sons and my wife. And then my daughter Prosperity was born and I caught her in my hands and I looked into her eyes and I thought, little girls are really expensive. I should get back to work. I should. And coming out of retirement's a big deal for me. It's for you. It's for all of you. When I came back out of retirement, 2 things had happened. Number one, a program that I'd been teaching for over 30 years as a 2-day program, I expanded to a 3-day program. Turning Point is now a 3-day program. People ask me, how are you different than, say, a Tony Robbins or some other motivational speaker? Here's the thing about it. That last thing, take action now in the present moment, it's the one thing they can't program you to do because that's not what they do. They can teach you, they can inspire you, they can motivate you, they can't program you. If you've taken other seminars, done other courses at other times, I want to help you protect the investment you've made in every other program you've ever taken. If you've already invested thousands of dollars in seminars and it hasn't worked out for you, I am the missing piece. I want to protect the investment you've made in everything else you've ever invested in. Well, the one thing that I'm going to do for you at Turning Point is once again program your brain with a certain mind to produce certain results. 2 other things that I've added. The first, I've added to Turning Point 6-figure opportunity for you to create massive passive income. So 6-figure massive passive income, that's a set it, forget it proposition. In fact, you could be making thousands of dollars before you even attend Turning Point. The second thing, how many of you believe if you just had a little bit of funding that you could put into your business, you might be able to create great things, put them away high, say, oh yeah? How many of you would love to create a funding source that was 0% interest, 6 figures over 18 months before you have to pay anything back? How many of you would love that? And believe you could multiply that money before you had to pay it back? I'm going to give you an opportunity. Not everybody will apply, qualify. Most people do qualify. I'm going to give you that opportunity too. Here's the deal. I got stuff to give away. Now, the first is called, let's see, what do I want to give away first? I am a non-smoker. Whether you are a non-smoker yourself or whether you love somebody that's a smoker that you would like to give this to, it sells for $50. I've been selling them all over the world. Who either wants it for themselves or wants it for someone you love? Put your hand up, say, oh yeah. You've had your hand up each time you sat front. I'm so glad you're here. It is my gift to you. You are very loved. Make her feel good. This is called I Am Permanently Slendered. It will help you lose 2 to 3 pounds every single week. Sells for $50. It does 3 things. Number 1 is it programs your brain to eat less and better. Who realizes you have to do that? The second thing it does is it programs your brain to move more. Who realizes you have to do that? The third thing it does is it programs your brain to psychosomatically process the food that you eat differently. How many of you know skinny people that eat whatever they want to eat, whenever they want to eat it, and they never seem to gain weight? Erica. How many of you want to strangle those people? Don't strangle those people. Take on their programs. Erica has a program in her brain that she can eat whatever she wants to eat, and it will either be energy or leave her body as waste material. Whereas people that have extra weight believe anything they eat is going to become waste material or butt material or thigh material. It's called I Am Permanently Slender. Sells for $50. Whether it's for you or for somebody that you love that's wanting to take off a few pounds, who wants this badly? Put your hand up. Say, oh yeah. I'm going to toss it. I'm just going to toss. Who got it? Great. Skinny lady got it. Great. I won a Lifetime Achievement Award for this gift. This is called my Self-Hypnosis Training DVD. It is a video. How many of you would love to overcome bad habits? Maybe nail biting, maybe insomnia, maybe anxiety or depression or whatever it is. Sells for $80. Every single person here, including you at home, has an equal opportunity to win this. Who believes they're going to win it? Your hand went up first. You believe you're going to win this $80 video. Then you did. Make them feel good. If you can't believe you're going to win an $80 video, how in the world could you ever believe that this is going to be your first million or best million year? I got more stuff to give away. Who believes they're going to win it? Now you're learning. Hey, if you're watching at home, type into the chat roll, I believe. How many of you would like to have an idea that in a single moment made you hundreds of millions of dollars and continued to make you millions of dollars every single year, even though you didn't do any more work on it? Put your hands way high, say, oh yeah. Oh, yeah. Type into the chat roll, I want it badly. You're okay, you're hypnotized. Back in 1994, I was watching an infomercial with Tony Robbins, and I did some research, and I found out that he was doing $1 million per month in sales. There was another show that was running at the same time with a woman named Dionne Warwick and her Psychic Friends Network. I did a little bit of research and found out they were doing $30 million every single month. I realized that there was a way to take personal development to the next level, to take the lessons and the strategies and the mindsets and have them be actual programs. You see, it's not enough for you to learn, you must become someone new. I created a program called Passion, Profit, and Power. It took me 30 days to create the program, took every dime I had, put me $250,000 in debt. To this day, we've sold hundreds of millions of dollars of this product worldwide, translated into multiple languages. It not only teaches you the skills and strategies you need for better relationships, more money, emotional, mental, physical, and even spiritual well-being, it literally programs you on a subconscious level to become that person. It sells all over the world for $220. Who wants this badly? I have a very special gift. I selected the person that I knew would be the most resistant person in the room for that last exercise. I meant everything I said, and I promise you, this is the beginning of that life change. Because you trusted me, because you trusted you, this gift is for you. Make Ashley feel good. You're very welcome. I got more stuff to give away. Who wants it? Say, I do. This is called How to Hypnotize Others. How many of you would love to be able to reach out, grab somebody by the wrist, give them a tug, and have them collapse at your feet? How many of you would like to grab your kid's hand like that once in a while? Sleep. My kids are so funny. They hypnotize each other all the time. One brother will say to the other one, don't make me do it, don't make me do it. And then, I won a Lifetime Achievement Award for this too, from the American Council of Hypnotist Examiners. Sells for $80. Who wants it? You guys have been awesome. I'm gonna go for distance. There we go. How many of you have had a lot of fun at this seminar? How many of you have had fun on this webinar? If you've had fun, say, I've had fun in the chat roll. We're getting some people active there. Oh, yeah. Awesome. Hey, did we get anybody typing in that had attended Turning Point before?
Yes, there are several Turning Point graduates. We have Dean, who has lost 100 pounds and kept it off for 15 years.
Awesome.
And Lindsay has made $500,000 in 6 months after doing your training.
Bravo.
And also Robin, who in her first year after training with you has made $1 million, actually multi-million dollars.
Absolutely, good stuff. How many of you would love to be with me for 3 full days? How many of you would love to have this be the beginning of a lifetime relationship? That's what I want. That's what I want with you. You know, I've done this webinar so I can reach more people like we did with the infomercial. This conversation that we've had is actually a 3-hour training called Take Action Now. It's on a DVD. It sells for $200. Who wishes they had taken better notes and wants this badly? You sat front row center. That is for you, my friend. You bet. Oh, you want this badly. You need this badly. Your entire life will change. Your financial world will go as high as it's ever gone, beyond your wildest dreams. You want this badly. It's called The Secrets of Persuasion and Influence. Who wants it badly? Of course you did. I just told you did. Everything that you want that you don't have, you're going to get from other people. When you attend Turning Point, either online or in person for a lifetime, I'm going to constantly teach you the skills of irresistible influence. It is the cornerstone of every area of your life. Communication equals wealth. Whether you're communicating and influencing yourself or the outside world, you want this badly. Let me tell you what this unique system is. It is 6 full-length CDs, audios, that not only give you language patterns of the influential people, it programs these language patterns into your brain so you can speak as if they were your language. The second part of this life-changing system is a full-length workbook. The workbook shows you how to break down all of the skills into any area. How many of you would like to influence somebody to give you a better price on your next major purchase? Put your hand up, say, I do. I do. Or in the chat roll, type, I do. How many of you would love to be able to influence your mate to give you more? I do. There's also 3 full-length DVDs, 3 full-length videos inside of here. The first video is called Cold Reading. Cold reading is the ability to read other people's body language. How many of you would love to know what someone was thinking by reading their body language? How many of you would love to know when someone was lying by reading their body language? How many of you would love to know what it is you do when you lie so you don't do it anymore so you can get away with it more? You're bad. The second DVD, by the way, we teach cold reading at Turning Point. So not only on the DVD, when you attend Turning Point, you're also going to see me do live cold reads right at the event. The second DVD is a DVD called Presentation Skills. How many of you here and you at home believe I may know a thing or two about presentation skills? I have been on the platform since I was 7 years old. I'm going into my 49th year. Next year will be 50. Public speaking, highest paid profession on the planet. You must learn it. The final DVD is probably the most amazing DVD in everything I've given away. It's a DVD entitled Embedded Commands. It's the very language patterns that I just used to influence Ashley to eat fire. Even though she was terrified, even though there was no way she was going to put that flame near her pretty face, she did anyways and is smiling up front. I know you can't see, she's grinning from ear to ear right now. I want you to learn embedded commands, both for yourself and for the people that you care about. When you believe in what you're selling, you have a moral and ethical obligation to sell it. The set sells for $400. You want this badly. Who here realizes I'm about to offer up Turning Point? Who here realizes that I have not been shy about the fact that I'm offering up Turning Point? How many of you here heard me say that the investment for Turning Point retail is $3,000, that I was going to reduce the investment dramatically, give you a better than money back guarantee, and also make sure that it was everything that you wanted and more by giving you 0 payments today, the ability to pay nothing for 6 months, and 0 interest? Who heard all those promises? I'm going to give this away in a moment. Let me tell you about Turning Point before I tell you how I'm going to give that away. Who's excited about Turning Point? How many of you would love, including you at home, to see what Turning Point is before you make the commitment to your whole life? Put them way high, say, oh yeah, and type oh yeah into the chat. Folks, this is Turning Point. Take a look at this video.
Turning Point. A total change in direction for the better.
Who here is ready for a turning point? You absolutely have to have one. Put them high.
The 2-day Turning Point seminar is different than any other program in that it does more than just teach you the skills for your relationships, wealth, and power. It also programs you on a subconscious level to put those skills into immediate use.
This weekend is about empowerment. This weekend is about you understanding how to take charge of your own life.
You will learn total control of your thoughts and emotions. How to use PND, or psychoneuroduplication, to take on the thoughts and actions of others to produce similar results. Whether it's losing weight, changing habits, being a millionaire.
When you think what a millionaire thinks and you do what a millionaire does, you'll produce similar results.
You will learn to program these powerful tools at a subconscious level for immediate and lasting results.
Your conscious mind is what's called your critical factor. It's the mind you're using right now to determine whether the information I'm giving to you will work for you or not. Your subconscious mind, on the other hand, is merely a computer. It's non-critical. It doesn't even have the ability to make judgment. So all trance, hypnosis, reprogramming is setting aside the critical factor of your conscious mind and non-critically accepting suggestions.
And empowering.
To make a fear vanish, you must experience it fully.
As it helps you create your life exactly the way you want it. Bring your family closer. Find the love of your life. Create strategies for wealth. Learn irresistible influence, and so much more. Because of the intimate nature of this course, seats are very limited. Register now before your life passes you by and there are no more turning points for you. Tens of thousands of people have learned this information and are using it daily.
You don't get angry if you get fired from your job and you know that within 2 years you will be a multi-millionaire.
It's your time.
There's a way for you to win this game that is different than how you're doing it, and it works.
It's your life.
When you learn how to do that, you become more powerful, and power is for use.
It's your turning point.
Awesome. How many of you think that looks like fun? It is. How many of you appreciate the fact that I've made learning fun? You know, you learn more when you don't realize you're learning, and you definitely learn more when you're having fun. I'm going to offer up Turning Point right now, and I'm going to make this the easiest decision you have ever made. For those of you that are here at Prosperity Palace that have already made up your mind or know you're going to go or decide you're going to go, Erica's right over there with order forms to get you enrolled. If you are watching this, then already Buy Now button has popped up. Hold on for just a second. I want to tell you what the offer is. It's popped up already, and you can click on it. It'll define the offer even more. It'll show you how you can get registered, and we've got a number of ways that you can get registered. Here is what the offer is. The offer is for the online Turning Point. The online Turning Point is a course that you can take in like 15-minute segments anywhere in the world, at your leisure, anywhere you want to go. How many of you believe that being with me live is probably a whole lot better than taking the online course? It is. The distinction between the online course and Turning Point Live is that I'm able to teach Turning Point to you, program you, interact with you, respond to you, make adjustments for you. So I want you to be with me live. I teach Turning Point a minimum of 10 times every single year, all over the country, a couple of times a year right here in my home, not in my home city of Las Vegas. Turning Point Live is a $3,000 investment. I want you to come back again and again. Every time you come back, it'll program you on a deeper level. It becomes easier for you to use these tools. If all you did was came back for that year to every single one of those 10 events, that is a $10,000 value, $16,000 total value for the whole package we're about to offer up. Here's the offer. I'm going to give you the online Turning Point. I'm going to give you Turning Point Live. I'm going to give you not a year's worth of reattendance. I'm going to give you a lifetime reattendance and a better than money back guarantee. Here's the better than money back guarantee. If after completing the first day of Turning Point, you can't do all three, you've got to do just the first day. If at the end of that day it wasn't everything that I said it was and more, at the end of the day, walk up to my staff and tell them you want your money back. I'll give you 100% of your money back and let you keep $1,000 worth of gifts. Or if you decide you want to take the online course, take the entire online course. After completing the course, you have a full 30 days to be able to ask for a refund. You won't. We almost never get those requests. In 33 years and hundreds of thousands of people, not more than a handful of those requests. So I know you're going to love it, and I know it's going to change your life. Here's the thing I want you to know. There's 3 ways that you can take action now and make this the best decision you've ever made, your turning point. Number 1, for $125 down and 11 additional payments, that's once a month for 12 months, you can have Turning Point now. That's about $1,495. Or if you want to take care of the investment in full, I'll knock an additional $500 off of that, and you can take care of the entire investment for $995 total. Plus, due to our relationship with PayPal, we've got a very special opportunity for those of you in the United States who qualify. PayPal will allow you to pay nothing today, pay nothing for 6 months, pay no interest payments for 6 months through PayPal credit, and get to Turning Point now. Who wants this badly? I've made it as easy as I can. I've given you a better than money back guarantee. Who wants everything that I have on the table totally free? I have a very limited amount of these with me here at my home today. This is a USB drive. This is all of the products all loaded onto this USB drive. Every single product on this drive. You simply open this up, you slip this right into the computer, you can instantly download every single product. Who thinks this is very sexy? As he points at himself, yes, of course. If you are amongst the first people who tap on the button, place your order, or if you're here right now, stand up, get over to the table, get yourself registered with Erica, then I'm going to give you over $1,000 worth of additional bonuses just for getting over to the table, just for clicking on the button, placing your order now. I've made it as easy as I can. There are 3 ways for you to get registered. Number 1, $125 times 12 once a month, pennies. That's your latte every single day. Take care of the investment in full. I'll knock an additional $500 off, put it on your credit card, or if you qualify, if you live here in the United States and you qualify for PayPal credit, 0 money down today, 0 payments for 6 months, 0 interest, and you get Turning Point for the rest of your life, plus $1,000 worth of bonus gifts. I've sure loved chatting with you. I pray this is the beginning of a lifetime relationship for us, and I look forward to seeing you at Turning Point. I'm going to go talk to some people whose lives are about to change forever. I'll see you soon. Hey guys, great job. So glad everybody's here.